tēnā tātou I te whare. Tēnā koe e tema, e tūwharetia o tō tātou nei, hui a te pō nei. Ka piki au ki runga ki ngā pai maunga ko ruahine me tararua. I kōnei a titiro au, I runga I te awa tapu ko Manawatu. Ko kura haupo te waka, au ko tēnei, ko Rangitāne, e mi ana kia koutou katoa, ko tai mai nei tēnei pō. Kia o tātou huhua mate, ngā mate I runga I a koutou, ngā mate I runga I a mātou, o tira haere o te atu. Kia tātou anō te hunga ora, anō reire te whare. Aku rauranga tira mā, e noho mai nei roto o te papai oia, a koutou, ngā iwi kia, anō reire nau mai hara mai wangi a tātou. He tū ana hau te taho tōku whaia Debbie, māua ko he wāri Māori hau, nō reire he tino miharo tēnei, he tū ana ki te miha te kia koutou katoa. Hoki atu rā, aku mihi kia koe e te pāpā Grant, koutou mā, e noho mai nei I tēnei tūru. Tēnā koutou everybody, Roly Fitzgerald is my name. An absolute honour and privilege to be standing here before you for the first Māori, one of the first Māori Ward seats alongside Debbie Marshall-Lobb. And Tema is absolutely right. We're kind of thrown in the deep end, but that's okay. It's nothing new to us. In terms of what I wanted to talk about tonight is to firstly pay homage, respect to those who came before us, because whilst we're the first Māori Ward candidates, we're not actually the first Māori City Councillors of Palmerston North. Me rua māua whakaro kia Sam Mihaere. In 1962, I think he was the first Māori City Councillor for Palmerston North. And in the mid-80s, the strong wahine toa Awana Davis and Debbie's mum, Yvonne Marshall as well. So for the both of us to be standing here tonight is to reflect and pay respect to those three particularly who took and carried the mantle of speaking for all Māori that were living here in Palmerston North at that time and are still living here today. When I read on the website that Debbie and I have a particular voice for the entire Māori community, but we also represent the entire community, I noticed with some reprehension that our councillor colleagues weren't given the same respect, I suppose. So for me, and I know that the new councillors that are coming on board this year will also be required to uphold the mana of Te Iwi Māori, so that it doesn't just rely on Debbie and I to carry that workload. So we're not relieving them of their responsibilities for our Māori community as well. My mother, Roly Fitzgerald, 85 years old, is sitting in front of me, and like many of her generation through the urban drift who left our rural coastal communities, mums from Ngāti Pro on the East Coast, many other iwi also came to Palmerston North, and as I was growing up I learned a lot about what was happening here before my time, and particularly with the Māori land court hearings that were held here in Palmerston North through the 40s, 50s and 60s. So there were a lot of iwi who were moving into Palmerston North, but particularly coming here to have their land claims heard in our district court. Whilst they were here, and you might have seen some footage on Manawatu Heritage Site, there's a photo of Māori congregating in the Coleman Mill corner of the city of the square, where the Rangitāne hosts were cooking kai for all of those iwi who were coming here to bring their claims to the Māori land court. I'm reminded too of our tupuna pāpā Te Pēti Te Awiawi and the statue that adorns that corner of the quadrangle of the square. And at the bottom of his statue, those of you will already know what he says. And it was that, kua kaupapa i au te aroha, mā koutou e whakaoti. And what he was talking about there was that he had laid the foundation on behalf of Rangitāne for the rest of Rangitāne to show manaakitanga, to show kaitiakitanga to all of those who live on our whenua here in Palmerston North. So I'm particularly carrying that forward into my role as council, but I'm also reminded of my father's brother, Ginger Fitzgerald. As I was younger, I remember Uncle Ginger saying, Rangitāne's role in Palmerston North is to care for all the people. So e mihi anō kia koutou katoa, Ngā iwi o te motu noho mai nei tēnei pō. So to all of the Māori community who are living here amongst us, it's our privilege to have you in our city, and it's our duty to care for you as well as care for all the other people in the city as well. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
Tēnā koutou.